What's up, YouTube? Boy G here, back in another video, and today we're going to install this, right? As promised from my previous video, this is the JBL Stage2 604C, and then I also got another one, 634. Now, this 604 already has tweeters on them and a crossover, and 270 watts peak, 45 watts RMS. However, this stage to 634 is only 250 watts peak, 40 watts RMS, and this will go to the back of my car, right? So the higher wattage will be in the front of the car and on driver's seat and the co-pilot, on the passenger next to that. And this three-way will go to the passenger seat on the back seat. As you can see, it looks really cool. I'm not gonna go into details on the unboxing. If you want to check everything on the unboxing, I'm going to link on the description my unboxing video for this, so you can go and check it out. But this is the Stage 26341 again, 40 watts RMS, 250 watts peak. This is a 6.5-inch driver, right, or speaker. I'm going to install this for my or to my Mirage G4. Now the 604C has a crossover, as you can see, tweeter, woofer, or the speaker, and then input, and then it has dedicated tweeters. That's why it also have that. But this is how it looks. Again, just quickly checking the looks of them. This is 604, quite fancy. I love it. And compared to the 634, 634 looks amazing on that tweeter and mid-range in the middle. But of course, the 604 is dedicated on bass and mid-range, right? The tweeter for high frequency is separated, which is actually pretty cool. Very, very detailed, as a matter of fact. So again, this is the 45 watts version, 270 watts peak, 604C, right? Component. Same size, 6.5 as well. So this is the tweeter, pretty good, pretty heavy. Let's go ahead and install this to Mirage G4. Okay, so first we're going to install this on the front right side, right? Couple of screws. As you can see, the one that I'm pointing, I think we have one on the handle here as well. Total of 3 outside. So let's go ahead and remove that, and then use this prying tool to pry and remove this cover. All right, so last screws will be here. Make sure you're careful on this. You don't pull this handle right away. There's a connection inside, and then there's 2 screws that you need to remove here. After you remove the screws here, and here, total of 4, I think, right? You can now pry it open. Use plastic. Don't use any hard or metal, steel here. Just plastic, and prying tool is preferred. And you're just going to pull out all of the tabs here. If this is the very first time that you're going to open up the cover for your car, it's going to be super tight, right? So be careful and make sure you lift it up first before you pull it, and do not pull it right away, because the lock for the doors actually is still latched in here. So you have to remove it like so. Remember that the yellow is on the top, blue on the bottom for Mirage G4. And that's the only time that you can pull this back away. Okay, so this is my right side front door. This is the speaker, the wiring for the tweeter. I bought like just Lazada tweeter, very low quality tweeter, because there's no crossover before. So that's why I have additional wirings there, just a Y cable splitter. But we have to remove this, of course, and then the actual speaker. This is the stock speaker again. This is the one that goes to my Twitter. And yes, just remove that. That's the default connection. We're going to connect it later on to the crossover. Again, at least for these front doors, crossover in, supply the power, the audio. Now, this is again the stock speaker. Let me set this aside and see how it looks like, how it compares with the JBL one. All right, so as you can see, it's a little bit of difference there. Very little magnet, right? Very small magnet, as a matter of fact. And the JBL one has, of course, a substantially bigger one. Now, take note though that this JBL is pretty cheap, right? This is not in any way audiophile grade or even hi-fi. I think it's very affordable. It's just going to upgrade the audio a little bit for clarity. Now, you're gonna need this as well for Mirage G4, and I believe for Hashback as well, Mirage Hashback. You're gonna need this adapter for Mitsubishi so that it will fit perfectly, right? You cannot install the speaker directly on the door. So this looking like a 3D printed one, or molded one, looks exactly like the original housing for the speaker. So it's pretty good because you just need to screw your speaker here, and then you're just gonna press it here and then twist in order to lock it, right? To activate its locking mechanism. It's amazing. The speaker, you will have to screw it here like what you can see on this video. On this part, I already screwed it here. Now take note, this is pretty tight, right? The screws that are included is very long. So you might need some strong hands or assistance in screwing them all. Also, take note that you cannot put the additional stuff there. It's not gonna fit. So it's supposed to be like this. Now this is the crossover again. I already put the in there, and I'm also molding out this just my own problem. I wanted to install the Twitter on the thing that I already have. As a matter of fact, I ordered a dedicated Twitter holder, similar stuff that you're gonna put on the door. But I think this turned out to be amazing, right? It's a pain in the butt. I don't have a tool to put a hole on it, but I managed to do it and it's looking good. I'm pretty happy with it. As you can see in the back, it's not as pretty, but don't care. It's just inside, right? You're not really gonna see that. From outside, it looks pretty fancy. So this is the tweeter included on the 604C. Okay, so now I have wired them all. Again, the speaker will go to the WF, and then the in will be the input later on, and then Twitter. So here it is. I mounted it already to the housing that I put. By the way, I'm going to put the link below. I'm not affiliated. This is not a sponsored video, but I'm pretty sure some of you will wonder where did I get it. So I'm going to put the link in Lazada, the one that I bought it from, so that you can easily find it. But yeah, this is quite important, the case, because as you can see, you just have to press it against that door and then twist it in order to lock it into place. Very difficult to shoot a camera with one hand, but I managed to do it. I put down the phone first and did it. And I just place some adhesive in the back of that crossover to stick it onto the door. And now we'll have to put that back. I'm done with the front one. So jumping right away to the back door, removing the cover. Now, essentially, once you're done with the very first door, right? Any door or front, like what I did, everything else will be faster. Everything else will be easier because you already know what you're doing, right? So this is the rear door. I think if you're facing the front, this is the right side. And since there's no crossover or no Twitter here anymore, we will replace this with the 634, right? The three-way speaker. It's substantially easier. So just remove it like so, and then get the new speaker and then just put it in. All right, it's plug and play. Because I mean, again, I already prepared the speaker with a connector. So you see, I already screwed this 634 to the housing that I bought. I bought four housing, right? So it's not included on the JBL. Just take note, if you're using Mirage G4 or Mirage, you have to order that separately from Lazada or from Shopee, whatever. So Once you get that, just press it again, like what we did earlier on the 604. Lock it like so, and that's pretty much it. It's done. We just have to connect the connector, and it's good. Now, take note of the connector. You can actually purchase as well separate connector, right? It's called harness, car harness for Mitsubishi. I actually tried to order a couple in Lazada, but they're out of stock, and I don't want to wait. I want to install this right away. But since I already have the Twitter before that I purchased, like the bad ones, it came with this connector as well, right? So I was able to use them instead. I just had to do some, DIY inside, like connecting them to the actual speaker. But then they have the female connector here, as you can see, which we can connect the male of the input. All right, that's it. Basically, we're done. Let's put it back now. Screw. Be careful in this one. Make sure you're using the thick screw as well, because if you accidentally use a thin screw, it's not gonna hold on. It's just gonna appear like loose thread, right? So this is the one I'm talking about. It actually looks really fancy with the cover and then the grill. You can also put the grill here, but take note for Mirage G4, you cannot use this. All right, it's not going to fit to the door cover, so you cannot put this front fascia, right, and the grill, even though it looks really cool. You cannot do this as it's not going to fit the door of a Mirage G4. So save that, save yourself from trouble, because I had to do this myself. I had to learn a hard way. I installed that front fascia and this one. It looks really good, right? I like it. So I install it, but it's really difficult to screw, right? Four of them. I got even calluses in my hand. And then turns out I just had to remove it again because, it won't fit. See, that's very tall with that, so it's not going to fit. All right, moving on to the second to the last door, rear left. Everything's the same. Just remove the door as you already know by now. Again, be careful on the door, and make sure you unscrew everything first before you pull it up and back. Two screws again, and again, make sure you remove them all and do not just forcefully pull everything without double checking the connection. There's a lot of latches here, a lot of tabs, as you can see. So you're really gonna need some prying tool and gently pull it towards to yourself to remove those latch and not break them. Right, be careful on them. And again, you have this door lock connectors. So make sure you remove them. Yellow on the top, blue on the bottom. All right, let's go ahead and connect this JBL speaker now and quickly test the sound. Again, for the rear, 634 is the recommended one, the optimized one, because it doesn't have any tweeter separated, where it already has tweeter on it. But the 604 has a dedicated tweeter, which you can put either on your dashboard and above your dashboard, or like me, I put it on the door as well. Let's go ahead and check this really quick if it's working.
Great man, stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faked it. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore. I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds. Talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more speak out. It's about to hit town. Never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?
All right, last door will be, of course, the driver's seat here. Let's put the cover back first, as it's already working. So we can move on to our last door. And that's pretty much it. Again, it's just the same thing. The lock For the actual doors, just a little bit different, or the connector for the wiring, because it also controls the door, the power windows right on the rear. But it's just the same thing. You just have to remove all of these screws and then handle first. So that's always the process, right? Remove all of the screws, remove the handle because there's also two hidden screws inside, and then you'll be able to remove the door. So here it is. Again, I'm using acoustic pad already because I already treated my car for acoustics a little bit. It's mainly for heat and acoustics. But yeah, so we'll have to remove this. It's covering that, but of course, I had to prepare the actual crossover that we're gonna put there. This speaker again without any cover or front fascia and grill. It's not gonna fit. And bam, that's it. I just had to install this, stick the crossover here. Again, I'm using a double-sided tape, or kind of like a 3M, right? As you can see, the white thingy on the top, it's even Velcro. Can remove that easily. But let's test if this is working.
Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Or you just gonna take that. Or will you fucking fight back? Or will you fucking fight back?
All right, so here it is. This is the tweeter. As you can see, it looks good, right? I put the JBL logo there, JBL stickers. Let's test the sound. Now, I will tell you by default, right? I put everything on default, no enhancement whatsoever. I actually didn't like it. I think it's very balanced, and it has absolutely no bass at all. The stock speaker is more bassier than this JBL, but it's also very muddy, right? The stock speaker, it's a lot muddier. It's a dirty bass, and when you crank it in higher volume, it already distorts crazy, very very crazy. Around 20 here, the stock already distorts. Well, as you can see on the JBL here, it doesn't actually distort. I tried maximizing the volume like on the maximum one. It actually doesn't distort. It's really good. And the good news is you can actually enhance it and it sounds way better after enhancing it. So let's check it here.
I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path. If you want it bad, I'm gonna show you every side. Yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done. I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want. Yeah, rises like the sun. Yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooters gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I fall. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all the signs, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in.
Now it'll depend on your component, right? Or infotainment. I already have an Android one. I already replaced it myself as well. I think I haven't uploaded a video on this. I can't remember, but I replaced this before, and it has tons of feature, including some audio manipulation, as you can see right now. But if you're using a stock infotainment that doesn't even have equalizer, you're not really gonna benefit on this JBL because on default they actually sound pretty nasty, right? They're very very flat and it doesn't have any voice, as if it's like this.
Can't help it, it's a habit. Clothes that she wears, short skirt and a jacket. I just wanna get her all alone on a match. I just wanna have it, I just gotta have it. Rumors all around say her body is fantastic. All natural, not a piece of
So without equalizer or tool like what you're seeing right now, your JBL, if you install in your car and you're not manipulating or enhancing the audio, it's gonna sound bad. As a matter of fact, because it's not bassy enough, and you might look for a subwoofer right away, right? It's clarity. One thing that we need to know though, for audio, it's actually clarity. It's not always like bassy, right? But it's clarity that we were looking for. And then once we got the clarity and the no distortion, that's the time that we add bass on it, right? So here you can actually manipulate here, lower the bass, increase the bass. As you can see, without the bass or without the bass just on the default one, it sounds very teeny because it's just all clarity. But you can add up, you can crank it up and make it a little bit more balanced, right? Sounding better. One thing I can say for sure is it's very detailed because of the Twitter and crossover, right? One thing that I noticed is the Twitter that I put is even facing me, right? As you can see on the JBL sticker earlier, it's facing me on the door, and it's right on the door, right? As you can see, it's located on the like wall right away, so it doesn't really escape. It just goes straight in front of me. It sounds really great and really detailed. I absolutely love it. But that's all for today, guys. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions, if you have any suggestion. Palagi ako nagbabasa ng comments. So if you have any suggestion, any comments, just put it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. I unbox and review stuff like this, so it might help you in your purchase decision. But that's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, guys, and see you on my next one. Peace.